What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the full Pristine review for the OnePlus 6T. Is it still relevant in 2019? Now, I had a coworker come up to me not that long ago, and they were in a T-Mobile store, and they were just kind of looking around. You know, they were looking to upgrade upgrade to a new smartphone, and they stumbled across the OnePlus 6T that is on display at your local T-Mobile. Never heard of the brand before, started playing out with the phone, liked it, but was reluctant just because they were like, I've never heard of this brand. And so they came to me and they're just like, hey, I ran into this brand phone, the OnePlus 6T. You ever heard of it? And I'm like, yeah, man, what I'm saying? Of course I heard of it. Heard of the OnePlus 6T, man. Oh, man, what you talking about, man? You been living under a rock or something, bro? What you talking about? And they were like, well, I'm trying to upgrade my phone, and I just, Apple, I'm just kind of, I've had an iPhone, and, I just kind of want to go a different route, and, I want to go Android, but I know that there's so many different Android options, and I just want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. And I was like, all right, bet, man, look, check this out. So I broke it down for him, right? I was like, look, OnePlus is a company, I think they were started up in like 2011, 2012. They hit us with the OnePlus One. Great phone. Basically, what they're known for is making phones that are just as good as a lot of the flagship devices. Same processors, same amount of power, features, functions, all that kind of thing. And they're only charging half the price for their product in comparison to what a lot of these flagship phones are charging. $1,000, you can pick yourself up the 6T here, for a little, a little under 500 or a little over over 500. You know what I mean? And so I was like, there's that to consider. And they were just like, oh, well, as far as like well, come on, you get what you pay for, there's got to be a reason as to why, they're charging significantly less amounts of money for their phone as opposed to all the other flagship devices out there. And I'm like, no. What OnePlus is trying to do is change the game. And I feel like we're starting to see that happen a little bit just because of how Apple just straight hit a wall to where they had to start re-releasing the iPhone 10. You know what I'm saying? A few weeks back, you know what I'm saying? Just because, sales have just kind of dropped. You know what I mean? And they stopped the iPhone 10 sales and production once they released the iPhone XS and the XS Max, thinking that they weren't going to have to look backwards to the iPhone 10. But they had to do it. You know what I'm saying? And my understanding is because of a lot of phones like OnePlus and a lot of other companies and OEMs out there that are making phones that are just as good, just as powerful. But they ain't asking for no $1,000. Some of these phones, you can buy 2 or 3 of them for $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, don't sleep on the brand. I understand your reluctancy just because you haven't heard of the brand and you're looking at the price tag in comparison to a lot of these other phones. But I'm like, man, don't get it confused into thinking that just because this phone is cheaper, that it's not as good. Because I'm like, let the truth be told, this phone, although it is cheaper, is beasting a lot of those other phones that cost way more than it. Has the same specs, same features, functions, if not better features and functions, or it may have the same features and functions, but it may do those things better than some of these other flagship devices that have these same features and functions that are charging for significantly more than what OnePlus is asking for this particular device right here. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, the price, like I said, for this one, this is the T-Mobile variant, $580. If you ain't got $580 to splurge right off top, man, you can just go ahead and put it on an installment plan and make payments on it. Okay? So that's a plus. Or you can just order it from the OnePlus website. Now, this particular one right here, this is the 128 gig of storage, 8 gig of RAM variant. Now, there is a 64 gig of storage and a 6 gig of RAM variant that is cheaper than this. I believe that one starts at like $449.99, if I'm not mistaken. Not bad. Not bad at all. But this is the T-Mobile variant, T-Mobile 580 for this particular, the 128 gig package and the 8 gig of RAM variant. You cannot expand the storage via micro SD. So you have to choose. They've got a 64 gig 128 gig, which is what this is, and I believe they got a 256 gig as well. Okay, so just be mindful of that if the OnePlus 6T is something that you want to invest in. Now, the build quality. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 6 on the front and the back of this device. Okay, and the back is transparent on this case that came in the box with the phone, so I'm not going to bother taking it off because it's a bit of a headache. But if I take the back off, I mean, it just looks just like this. It's a glossy glass back. Okay, now again, like I mentioned, we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 6. I think that the OnePlus 6T here was the first phone to have Corning Gorilla Glass 6. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the phones have had, Corning Gorilla Glass 4 and 5 or Gorilla Glass 3. And, it's Gorilla Glass is just a grade of glass that's supposed to be very tough, very durable, but it's glass. And so if you drop it from a great enough height, guess what? It's going to crack. It's going to shatter. Either the front, the back, whatever. So don't get conned into thinking, oh man, you know what I'm saying? This guy, yeah, man, hey man, look here, man. My phone got that Corning Gorilla Glass 6, man. If I drop my joint, man, ain't nothing happening. If that's what you think, you got another thing coming. You see what I'm saying? You got another thing coming, baby. Man, protect your investment, man. A case comes in the box with the phone. Slap that on there, man. You know what I mean? There's already a case, a little flimsy, little plastic, little screen protector that comes on the device. And you also got to be mindful of, if you put a screen protector on this device, you want to make sure that it's something that's compatible with the screen. Why? Because we've got the in-dash fingerprint sensor on the screen down here at the bottom. If you put a tempered glass screen protector on here, depending on the type of material that screen protector is, it just may interfere with your ability to put your thumb on the little fingerprint imprint thingy and unlock your device. You don't want that. You don't want to have that happen. And so that's one of the main reasons why OnePlus opted to put their own little screen protector on there. But I didn't like the way that it looked. I mean, it smudges up very easily and it just makes the phone just look hella dirty. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I'm very meticulous about that type of stuff, cosmetics and how things look. I don't want my phone looking all greasy and smudged up and I barely even touched it. So I just peeled that off. And I just feel like I can appreciate the true screen a little better. Now, speaking of the screen, we've got a 6.4-inch 2340 by 1080 pixel display. We've got a 402 ppi pixel density, 19 by 5 by 9 aspect ratio. And this is an optic AMOLED display. 2.5D Corning Gorilla Glass 6 is what the glass is on the front and the back of this device. Okay, so the build quality is solid. It feels premium. It feels durable. It feels sturdy. But don't forget that it's still glass. Protect your investment. Now, performance. What we got up under the hood? Man, come on, man. I mean, it ain't nothing but that Snapdragon 845 processor. It's just a Snapdragon 845. I mean, come on. It's just got 128 gigs of storage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just 128 gigs. 8 gigs of RAM. Come on, man. It's just 8 gigs of RAM. That's more RAM that's in a lot of computers out there in this little phone right here. But it's just 8 gigs of RAM. We got an Adreno GPU of 630. We're running Oxygen OS based on Android 9 Pie, so we do have the latest Android software. Come on. The phone is just a beast. To put it plain. Your performance is stellar. You know what I mean? OnePlus is known for that. This is what they do. They make a phone. And it just completely kills off and destroys a lot of its competition. As you can see, the phone is very responsive to touch. Okay, swipe up through the apps. All right, buttery smooth experience, no lag at all whatsoever. Okay, you want that word? Just tap on it, and there it is. You know what I mean? Let's get out of that. We'll listen to some music real quick. It's gonna take you right there. You know, Spotify is a huge app. I got so much music in this thing, and it just loaded it up like it was nothing. Same thing with SoundCloud. You see? Let's go shopping. Let's go to Best Buy. Boom, just load Best Buy up. Just like that. No problems. All right? Amazon. Same thing. You know? No problems. GearBest. Boom. Same thing. No problems. Oh, what? You concerned about the RAM management? Okay, well, okay. Apps that we got open. All right, let's take it back to Best Buy. Boom. No reload. Okay. SoundCloud. No reload. Spotify. No reload. Those apps are just chilling. Okay. And like I said, I mean, we are running Android 9 Pie, which we do have the ability to have gestures, or you can have the navigation buttons down there at the bottom of the screen. I just opted not to have those just because I want to take full advantage of the display. All right. And having the touch gestures just gives me the ability to do that. And I've gotten so used to the touch gestures by messing with the new iPhones and stuff. And so it's like, all right, man, we might as well go ahead and get it popping on the Android phones too. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. The gestures, if you have an app open, you can swipe up on the left or right side to go back. Okay? Or if you want to go home, you just swipe up from the middle. If you want to access your recent, you swipe up and hold just like you would on an iPhone, and you can just sift through all your applications right there. Okay? If you want to get rid of everything, you can swipe up to get rid of everything, or you can just hit that little X. X marks the spot, and it gets rid of everything. Okay? Bring you back to your desktop. Okay, so performance on this phone, beastin' 'em. You know what I'm saying? Cameras. On the front here of the teardrop, little notch. We've got a 16 megapixel front facing selfie snapper with electronic image stabilization. Record up to 1080p, 30 frames per second, or 720p at 30 frames per second. On the rear of the device, we've also got a 16 megapixel primary snapper and a secondary 20 megapixel secondary camera lens snapper with optical and electronic image stabilization. 4K recording up to 30 or 60 frames per second. Full 1080p recording at 30 frames per second. 720p recording at 30 frames per second. All the bells and whistles and options. Now I'm not going to go too much into the camera because there's a dedicated camera video. The link is in the description if you guys want to check that out. Okay. As far as the camera on this phone, they say that the best of the best is the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL. Okay. Then they say, okay, you got some of the Huawei, you know what I'm saying? The P20 Pro or the Mate 20. All right. These are some cold cameras. But from those phones, if you scale down the list a little bit, you will find that the OnePlus 6T is not too far behind those devices. So what does that tell me? It tells me that this camera on this phone is a beast. The camera on this phone, in my opinion, is up there with the Pixels. It's up there with the iPhones. OnePlus is really doing their homework and making sure that they're giving us the best product possible at the best competitive price possible. You dig what I'm talking about, little baby? I mean, they doing it, man. They doing it straight up. I've had this phone for a little while, and I just been real busy, family stuff, work stuff, and the phone's been out for a minute, so I just didn't bother doing an unboxing or thoughts and impressions. I was like, I'm gonna just jump straight into the camera, video, do a full Pristine review after some extensive usage, just do what I do to test these phones out as I'm, putting together my thoughts and opinions on them to formulate these videos for you guys. And I am highly impressed with this device. I know that at the end of the year, I did a video and I said that the Pocophone F1 was one of my phones of the year. And I was saying that I said it was a runner-up. And I said that one of the only reasons why I couldn't nominate it as the best phone was because of availability. The fact that it wasn't made for the US. It came out initially in India, and then, you know, you can start to buy it on Amazon and stuff like that. And I know that they got like global versions and stuff like that. But I mean, some people still, you know, are having issues with those phones, you know, not being able to use them just because it doesn't support, you know, all the bands where people may be in their areas, depending on what type of carrier they have. You know what I mean? Well, that's not necessarily a problem with the OnePlus 6T here. You know what I mean? You can go to their website and order it. Phone's fully GSM unlocked. You can get it at T-Mobile, you know, which is a plus. I mean, anybody can go into a T-Mobile store and buy this phone right now. You know what I mean? So availability is not a problem with this phone. Now, some people also consider the Pocophone to be a OnePlus 6T killer because it's undercut it in price. Like I said, even the cheapest OnePlus 6T is like $450, but the Pocophone with the same specs is $300. But it's like, now that I got the 6T, I think that the 6T is slightly edging the Pocophone just a little bit, in my personal opinion. All right, now, battery life. I mean, we ain't got nothing but a 3,700 milliamp hour battery, y'all. I mean, it's just 3,700 milliamps. Come on, man. It's enough to get me through a full day. Should be enough to get you through a full day, you know, but I mean, hey, it all just depends on how you use your device. Are you a heavy user? Are you constantly streaming videos and movies and music? Are you a game player on your phone? PUBG, Fortnite, you know what I'm saying? What's this new game? Apex Legends or something like that? They're supposed to be like the new Fortnite, or the game that's supposed to be just coming out to do away with Fortnite. I think that's what it's called, Apex Legends or whatever. 8 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs of RAM. Damn, bumpy cam. My bad. Ooh, I'm a lyricist, man. 8 gigs of RAM. Damn, bumpy cam. I gotta get in the studio, y'all, and drop this album, man. I got bars. Alright? Bars, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, some of the most graphically intense games that you could ever play on a phone. With this device, you're not going to have to worry about scaling down the gaming settings in order to alleviate the problem of glitches and stutters here and there. The games are going to run as fluid as they do on consoles on this phone. Some of your most graphically intense games that you can imagine are going to be a breeze on this phone. But just be mindful, battery life, it is 3,700 milliamps, but if you are concerned, need not be, because we've got a Type-C port down here in the bottom, and we do have fast charge, and that is another one of the things that OnePlus is known for, is dash charge. I don't know if there's another phone on planet Earth that charges as fast as the OnePlus phones. The OnePlus 6T charges extremely fast. They are not lying when they say, you know, damn near 0 to 100% in 30 minutes. It's like, man, between 35 and 40 minutes from 0 to 100. No lie. This is definitely the type of phone to where if you're in a rush, you need to run home and change, you know, you out, you done hit, you know, went to the gym, hit the weights, ran to the store, did a little grocery shopping, you know what I'm saying? You know, you on creep status, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so you had to go, you know, see your side piece real quick to keep her from yapping, you know what I'm saying? And man, you know, you about to meet up with your main thing, but you ain't got that much time because you kind of ran behind, you know what I'm saying? You could come on to the crib while you jump in that shower real quick, you know, throw your OnePlus 6T on the charger, man, boom, 15, 20 minutes, you take it off the charger, depending on where your phone was, as far as its percentage, when you put it on the charger, 15, 20 minutes later, you might be at 100%. You might be at 100%. But in 15 or 20 minutes, even if the phone was on 0, when you take it off the charger in 15 or 20 minutes, you're at least going to be at 70% after 20 minutes. The charging is stupid on this phone. In a good way. Stupid in a good way. All right. So additional features. Lord have mercy. Double tap to sleep. Double tap to wake. What do you see right there? That's an in-dash fingerprint sensor. A few updates have hit the phone. I know that when the phone first dropped, I don't want to say it was a problem, but it wasn't that typical, you know, speedy fingerprint response that you're used to on a OnePlus device. It's a new technology and it's going to get better, but after a couple of updates have hit the device, it's gotten much better. So I will double tap on the screen and, well, that was facial recognition right there. So that's another feature, but I'll just move my face out of the way and just tap it. Boom. And it just opens just like that. And it works 100% of the time. Just like that. Cool little effect. Boom. No problems. Okay. Now, as I said, lightning quick facial recognition. Boom. Double tap. Whoa. Okay. Was trying to get the position. All right. Let's see. Double tap to sleep. Boom. There's your facial recognition right there. Let's do that again. Double tap to sleep, wake, and you'll hear the phone vibrate. Sometimes it won't even, it'll just bypass that lock screen that you see and it just recognizes your face and it just goes right into your desktop, okay? Do that one more time. Boom, just like that. So lightning quick facial recognition. And then when you take it to the settings and the fact that you just got this dark mode, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, man. You know me, man. All black, everything. No racist. No racist. But man, this all black theme change is just, oh, I love it. And the fact that you can change the accents. You can change the accent color. So I got the black and red combination. Why? Because red is my favorite color. And my favorite color combination is red and black. And so the fact that you can just turn on this dark mode and black out everything and have these little red accents. You see that when you swipe up to all your applications in your app drawer and it's just black and you got the red, you know, search apps is in red and the little lines is in red. And you can change those to various different colors that are appealing to you. You know what I mean? I just love the fact that Oxygen OS gives you options to customize this phone to your liking. I mean, you really have the ability to make it your own. I love that about OnePlus. And that dark mode, oh, that dark mode is something special, man. Man, it's beautiful. Dark mode, yeah. You know, even iPhone is starting to jump on the bandwagon. I understand that with the new iOS 12 or iOS 13 update that's getting ready to drop or recently dropped or something like that, it's going to have a dark mode too. Because it's like, man, people want dark mode. You know what I mean? So I love that. So those are just some of the key features and functions that I like about the device. Again, one of the other things that I like too is the gestures, you know. And they're not complicated at all whatsoever. If you are in an application, okay, and you want to go back, all right, let's just say verse of the day. We type on the verse of the day, but we just want to go back to the home screen. You can swipe up from the left or the right side of the screen to take you back, okay? And then if you want to just go out of the app completely, you just swipe up from the middle, okay? And then if you want to go to your recents, just swipe up and hold, and that's going to bring up all your open applications. If you want to get rid of them, you just swipe up. And there you go. Okay? Double tap to close. Double tap to wake. Lightning fast facial recognition. I love it. Those are just some of the key things that I like about the features and functions. And of course, I mean, you've just got everything, you know, you got NFC, Bluetooth 5.0. I mean, you do have a single bottom firing speaker that sounds really good, even at some of the highest levels of volume. No distortion that I've heard or that I can tell at all whatsoever. So it sounds good. Ringtones, notification tones are nice, loud, and clear. And so, yeah, those are some of the things that I love about the phone. So my final thoughts for the OnePlus 6T. Is it still relevant in 2019? Absolutely. It's still early in the year. We have yet to have seen a phone that comes out that just completely destroys and blows this phone out of the water, right? It's a little bit of a drought season right now. Phones haven't really been coming out. It's still early in 2019. Mobile World Congress is getting ready to happen. The Samsung Unpacked is getting ready to happen. So definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to have the S10, either the S10, the S10 Plus, or the S10e, which the S10e is supposed to be like the iPhone XR equivalent or competition. You know what I mean? I'm going to have one of them Samsung's S10 whatever on the channel. So stay tuned for that. I know that Motorola, they just recently launched the new G7 series. So I'm either looking at the G7 or the G7 Plus, whichever one of those devices that I can get my hands on. Those come out on March 1st. I'm definitely going to have an unboxing on March 1st or 2nd, right around that time frame for you guys. So keep it locked here for that. But I mean, as far as this year is concerned, we just haven't seen much. I think the standout phone thus far has been the Honor View 20, which we saw unveiled and released at CES in January. And so not a lot of activity in the smartphone world, you know what I mean? But man, it's about to pop off. It's about to pop off. Like I said, we got Samsung right around the corner, the LG G8 that's getting ready to be unveiled. Mobile World Congress, man, a lot of activity happening. I've already seen the dates for a lot of the companies that are going to be unveiling their new devices, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, just make sure you keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech, so you guys don't miss a lot of these phones that I plan on having here on the channel for you guys. So again, who's this phone for? If you just want a beast of a phone that just has it all, man, get the OnePlus 6T, man. Not a bad purchase at all whatsoever. Okay, whatsoever. What is this phone lacking? These things will be determining factors depending on who you ask. It's lacking an IP rating, so there's no IP68 water or dust resistance. So if there is anybody out there that does really, really want to submerge your phone in water, either up to 1 meter for 15 minutes or 2 meters for 30 minutes, then you're probably going to want to stay away from the 6T here. And the fact that it just doesn't have wireless charging. And for me, the wireless charging would be the only gripe, because I don't give a damn about IP ratings, even though I live in Seattle, Washington. I mean, it's raining right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care about that. Why? Because I'm a 70s baby, man. I was born in 78. I'm 40 years old, people. You know what I'm saying? I've always been taught you don't bring your electronics nowhere around water. So even though we're in a different age right now where these phones have the capabilities of being submerged underwater completely for extensive periods of time and be taken out of water and still be fully functional, I'm not just like, oh yeah, I've been waiting to do this all my life. We finally got the technology to do it, so let me go ahead and just put my phone in a bowl of water. Let me go ahead and talk with the phone in my ear while I'm taking a leak and let the phone slip off my ear and into the toilet and just let it marinate in the toilet, you know what I'm saying, and not even have to worry about it, because as soon as I pull it out, it's going to be fine. Yeah, I've been waiting on that. Let's do that. Come on, man. I don't give a damn about that, man. But I'm hoping that OnePlus with the 7, we better see some wireless charging on this OnePlus 7. Straight up. I'm going to talk bad about you, OnePlus. Alright? So yeah, man, anybody that wants a flagship top tier device that doesn't want to spend $1,000, get the OnePlus 6T. Okay? Get the OnePlus 6T. If you don't want to spend $1,000 or anywhere close to that, if you don't want a Pixel, because you think the Pixels are overpriced, I think the Pixels are overpriced. You know what I mean? The OnePlus 6T here, like I said, this is the T-Mobile variant, $580. If you can't afford the splurge, $580 plus the taxes on it right then and there. You can just put it on an installment plan and make payments. And what you got there, you got yourself a monster of a phone. Killer cameras, beast in performance. This phone is definitely still relevant right now in 2018. Today is February 17th. this phone is still a beast in a lot of the competition that's out there. By far. That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, then, hit that thumbs down button. I take the negative with the positive. All right, but keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech. Stay tuned because I've got so much more content to come. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a beat. Every time my videos go live, you can get notified. And check out the content. Get in the comment section. Let me know about what you thought, about what you saw. If you've got any questions, comments, feedback of any kind, let me know in the comment section. I live in the comment section. I may not always respond, but trust me, when you guys do send those comments, I do get them. Okay? So I'll hang out in the comment section and be sure to accommodate you guys with responses or just try to answer questions in future videos that I may do for these phones upon request. All right? So that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. And you already know, man, please keep it safe. Get spiritually fit. We're definitely living in the last days, 2019. That's no reason for anybody to be afraid. Just accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. And he's willing to meet you wherever you are in life. He brought you this far, and he didn't bring you this far just to drop you off. Keep that in mind. Always be mindful of that. All right? Keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is the OnePlus 6T. I'm your man Pristine, your host, bringing the content. I'm out.